Alcaraz and how to handle the aftermath of success. Facebook Twitter commentarios. The person from Murcia is used to achieving great titles, but does not always know how to handle success in the tournaments following glory. Attending a tournament after winning another is somewhat complicated, as one barely notices taking enough time for celebration and probably feels deserving of more rest. However, in professional tennis, there's no stopping, and the commitments of the world's best players are there, as is the case with Carlos Alcaraz at Conde de Godó. The Murcian is the reference tennis player in Spain after Rafael Nadal's retirement, and after being unable to compete in the 2024 edition, he makes a grand return in 2025 after winning the Monte Carlo Masters, a week that helped clear up some doubts in his game. Carlos Alcaraz will debut against Ethan Quinn in the first round of a revamped ATP Barcelona, with a 32-player draw instead of the traditional 48. Even so, the Spanish player is the top favorite to snatch the crown from Casper Ruud and prevent Stefanos Tsitsipas from achieving his first triumph on the clay courts of the Catalan city. He has several factors in his favor. Yes, but Alcaraz has often felt the aftermath of success after winning a Masters 1000 or a Grand Slam. Let's review. 2022, with challenging successes to manage. Alcaraz's breakthrough came in 2022. He experienced his first aftermath after winning the Miami Open, which showed as he fell in the debut in Monte Carlo against Sebastian Corda, 7-6, 6-7, 6-3. He reclaimed the title in ATP Madrid and had to withdraw from Rome to finish the tour in Roland Garros, where he reached the quarterfinals against Alexander Zverev, 6-4, 6-4, 6-7, 6. In the American leg, he secured his first Grand Slam title at the U.S. Open by defeating Casper Ruud in 4 sets, 6-4, 2-6-7, 6-6-3, and decided to attend the ATP Astana 2 weeks later, something that might seem unusual today. But the reality is that winning such a big title at just 19 years old perhaps wasn't in Alcaraz's plans, and he didn't pull out of the Kazakh tournament. However, David Goffin brought him back to earth swiftly, 7-5, 6-3. 2023, and a star taking even more shape. By 2023, the tables turned regarding aftermaths, as the El Palmar native secured Indian Wells, had a good performance in Miami by reaching the semifinals, and won the Conde de Godó. Everything was flowing perfectly as he also triumphed in Madrid, although a setback came at the Rome Masters when he was surprisingly defeated by a newcomer in the category like Fabian Maratson, who was then outside the top 100 but had a perfect day against the one who was the one to beat at the time, 6-3, 7-6. A season where he ended up winning Wimbledon, and his career soared to an even higher dimension by having Grand Slams on all surfaces. However, he fell in the quarterfinals of the Canada Masters against Tommy Paul, although it was a closely contested match, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. 2024, from high to low. Alcaraz's 2024 went from high to low. He took Indian Wells again, and when everything seemed on track to achieve the Sunshine Double, Grigor Dimitrov swiftly finished off the job in a forgettable match for the Murcian, 6-2, 6-4. Nevertheless, he dispelled all doubts by winning Roland Garros once more and then didn't play until Queens, where he lost to a newcomer Jack Draper in the round of 16 by 7-6, 6-3. Once again, there were talks of flaws in his game and whether he was capable of winning again at the All England Lawn Tennis Club. What did Carlos Alcaraz do? Win Wimbledon again against Novak Djokovic. However, the aftermath caught up with him even a month later, and he succumbed to nerves and pressure in the first round of Cincinnati against the veteran Gael Monfils for a 6-7 to 6-6 4, a duel in which he left a memorable image by smashing his racket in utter frustration. Since that Wimbledon title, Alcaraz entered a strange whirlwind of events on the court that prevented him from feeling as invincible as he used to. Until today, on April 15, 2025, the question remains whether Carlos Alcaraz has improved in maturity and mental management to, for instance, reach the heights of Barcelona again after a great triumph like the Monte Carlo Masters 1000.